Onivia, League of Legends highlights.
As B2D considers his options, you want a team fighter and you want to add some ranges. Never mind! All right, Lehens. We're just going all in. So this means the bottom lane is either, it's like a ride or die. You know,
so far away that you have information. It also prevents Cuz from doing a lot. Okay, hold that thought.
Yep, Repel going to come on over as Willa does find the cocoon, but they didn't have a ward in the brush. B2D might have to flash, but instead he mantras the W. Now he's going to have to flash to get out. Willa just needs a Q, but an auto attack will do, and he manages to pick that up. But Cuz is now looking for Willa off to the side. Good cocoon is going to connect again. As Willa's getting chased down, no red buffs to worry about though, as now Closer. Dredge line at the ready. We'll see whether they can actually win this fight. There it is, going to connect onto Kyle, but does have a cocoon available, and this is the point in the game where B2D is still very strong. Does a lot of damage. Level 5 has access to an R button. That feels good. Envy going to take a bit of damage there. As you can see, they're juggling the Drake as well, but still taking a fair bit of damage themselves. B2D going to lock down Closer. One more auto is going to do it. The Drake is going to be taken. And Willa's just going to look to get out of there. Cuz dashing on forward. Envy in the back of the pit wants to get the kill onto the monkey. As B2D was snared up, and Envy eventually has to flash to get over that wall.
Oh, look at this.
Man. That's real dangerous. High-value dragons on the Rift at this point in time is, all right, that's a hook that's going to connect, though, as Envy going to get locked down. Another turret shot would have done it, but it's not going to happen. One more auto from aiming. He doesn't get there. Now the autos from Kaela coming in. Willa wants to try and find it. The volatile Spiderling, it picks it up. Lehens tried to flash in front, but the AoE, it was big enough.
That was big enough. Doesn't feel super high value. You know, it is useful, yes, the Cuz picks up gold here, and it is very important for him to get as much as possible because he is going to be a large percentage of this damage as Arrow.
Arrow is going to connect there onto Lehens. Chains of Corruption comes through as well, and Cuz is now fighting with Willa. There's the Cyclone. Envy going to get knocked up, and they manage to get the kill. Now Cuz flashing away, wanting to get out of this one as the volley comes in. The flash forward, and Willa is going to be able to pick that one up. Now B2D's making his way down. Closer, hot pursuit. And now aiming. Can he actually find it is the question. Closer has the ultimate available as Willa is going to die to the Karma, but the Caitlyn falls down immediately afterwards. Now it's a 2v2, but the Q misses from B2D. He has the blue buff as the Dredge line gets Lehens to relative safety. Kyle trying to escape as well as B2D. He may have been baited. The Q doesn't land.
Both of those flashes for Envy and Kyle just now coming up. If they had those in the fight, I think it's a much cleaner one for Liiv SANDBOX, but Closer comes down here, and it's essentially two supports against two supports, or rather two supports against a mid and a support, but it's support Ashe, who does a lot of damage, and Azir that they fight. That's okay, another
arrow will connect, but the Titan's Wrath did come up. There's the flash forward from Envy, and he picks up the kill, and that's going to mean blue buff as well for the Varus. If you thought aiming's life was hard, the win condition from KT.
I think it's going to have to be Lehens being a hero somehow in a comp where it's hard to be.
Well, Closer is now going to find the Emperor's Divide, and B2D is really going to struggle here. No flash available, no real hope. He's pretty tanky as the arrow going to be narrowly avoided. He does, now have Bertle to deal with as well. So Closer picks up the kill. Doesn't even break his crown.
That should be the Drake, and Varus can just sit bottom for free, push these minions in. It almost feels like, in a weird way, Atlas, like everybody knows you had that friend who just wants to do things the cool way, even though there's a proper way. And it feels like in this draft, KT was like, we can flex a Karma, and then the Lux ban came through, and they didn't have to flex a Karma, but they could have. But they didn't stop to wonder if they should have in this draft, and it's just really not working out.
Yeah, I don't think they should have. Personally, I believe Merc Treads were available. Yes, they were. Not going to get stunned up for too long, especially when it's a bit point blank like that. As Keen having to dash about 1 trillion times to get out of the way of Bertle here, who's just chasing after him. All right, let's see whether this is going to work out as the all-in does come forward. Bertle's in trouble, one more, but it's not enough, and Bertle turns it around.
You know what's so interesting about this series in particular is it all goes back to... Okay, hold on. I don't want to get on.
Oh dear, he's dead. All right. And Bertle immediately hands off keyboard. I think he got a little bit frightened, and I think a lot of us would have as well if a monkey just came out of nowhere.
The Cyclone from nowhere. But you know, when everything we had a big overreaction, I think, after Liiv SANDBOX got utterly destroyed by D+ Kia, right? Like, completely dismantled. Worst series that we can remember. At least he has the Warriors Trickster to get over here.
Yeah. Well, Keen grouped up with his team for the first time. Arrow is going to sail and connect to the Caitlyn, but Bertle doesn't have an R-bar anymore. No real option right now as the Chains of Corruption come through.
The Azir damage is real. You can really feel it. There's not a lot of trade back here for BDD, but they have to stick to the streak now. They have to go for the smite.
It's going to be a 50-50, and it's the Elise that takes it. Cyclone now going to come through. A couple of knockups for Cuz, but can't really find too much more. A golden spider looms over the battlefield as KT. They'll find at least the Varus, and now the Caitlyn's getting some work done. BDD locks down the Azir as Bertle is running for the hills. KT somehow find a team fight.
Yep, Keen.
Okay, Kyle, I think you might be dead, sir. And there it is. Cuz gonna lock that one down. An even bigger win here for KT.
Yeah, greedy back there. But I mean, I think he's desperately just hoping he's gonna get it off his TP will commit, and he doesn't land on that Caitlyn trap somehow.
Yeah, that was an optimistic teleport, but Bertle not going to be punished for it just yet.
Just really speeding her up that much. Karma and Wukong really getting the most value out of this. Again, two champions that get value out of their money, but not as much as a Caitlyn would. And the Drake goes to Liiv SANDBOX with that second smite. So, you know, a lot of ways KT win, but how much did they really win? How much did they actually gain?
Keen gonna have to all out as Bertle's gonna get pushed back under the turret. Now Keen is looking for the second one. Will is like, what the heck? What am I supposed to do? The arrow sails by magnificently, and now Kyle is gonna find Keen. I thought maybe it'd be the moment, but with the ghost he gets out. Oh ho ho! That was that 2018 Keen we were
Yeah,
talking
there
about.
you go. You gotta be so careful about pushing around the edge of turrets like this, and when Keen has his ultimate and two items, you're gonna, I believe he had that Sunfire in that last fight, but you know, two items, and he will actually go all out on you and kill you. So,
ooh, I like that. Very good name.
Yeah, very soul, by the way, for Liiv SANDBOX. So this fight is so important for KT, but they have the better setup here, and the traps are set once again for aiming. Very difficult to close the gap here, and they're going to make it into a Baron trade. This is a fantastic call for Liiv SANDBOX. The rotational power here for KT, just not there.
So I still feel like KT is somewhat on the ropes.
I mean, I definitely agree. I think that it's KT's handled what has been a disaster of a draft, outside of the early game there, because it could have worked, right? If the objectives will have to be contested. KT gave up the first 3 Drakes of the game and got that 4th one, but they can't walk away.
Oh, lands is going to find closer. Emperor's Divide comes in as all of the Cuzzes and the Lehens do get pushed away. That is going to mean that's now on cooldown. So a possible Baron angle maybe, but probably not, because it takes them about 45 years to lock that one down. They're going to need to kill closer, and this might be their opportunity. He's in the sky for about 3 years, and Cuz is eventually going to press Q and take down the Pigeon.
This is the Baron opportunity. You know, take away the ult, maybe it's risky. Take away the Azir completely, and now it's a strong option. Even with the time it's going to take here, they can lock the door here with this Nautilus. Bertle has no Narbar. It's going to be an awkward fight here. Envy needs to hit that damage.
Well, Arrow is going to connect. Fair bit of splash lands onto KT, but they're otherwise absolutely fine. And Willa, he'll need to get in there. Cocoon is going to connect as Cassante happy to tank things up here. Hail of Arrows doing a fair bit of work. But Willa's nowhere near this pit. They're not going to be able to stop this as Keen playing frontline. Willa now over the wall. BDD trying to stop him. He steals it away! And it's a massive gnaw from Bertle into the wall as well, as Willa's going to be taken down, and now KT are looking for the team fight. Bertle finds a huge wallop, but he's still going to be able to walk it out. All right, a couple of kills do come through. Ace in the hole secures the double for aiming, but they lost the Baron.
They lost the Baron, and it's just straight up. Willa before it times out, but he doesn't have, his team isn't close enough. They're just going to push mid instead and try to slow us down. It's only a solo Cloud Drake, so I like this call from Liiv SANDBOX actually to just say, not push mid, but you need to actually get value mid. They're collapsing late.
Oh, Willa, he just walks in and steals it. That's the soul, but he's going to have to give up his life for it. We'll see whether that's going to be worthwhile, as Depth Charge did stop Bertle from offering any sort of support. Because, man, he's got to find that smite button.
Yeah.
It's been a rough one so far here today, especially after what we saw from Cuz in the Deft versus Faker.
What's so weird about this, too, and what's so tragic about it is Liiv SANDBOX pushed mid and got that inner turret, and then they were like, should we go back? Should we do it all? Careful.
Well, Dreadline going to come through here. Concussive Blows is actually a Braum ability. Not, in fact, Nautilus, but he's going to stun him up with his passive.
I mean, they were concussive blows. The ability is not called that, but I mean, that's what they are.
Somewhat concussive.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, aiming. Gonna have to get out of the way. This one does so. Had a nice buffered net there. Doesn't have the cleanse back available just yet. Does have some items.
Five-head thing is, though, it was KT wanting to start the Drake so that Liiv SANDBOX stole it so that they can then win the flip on the Elder and win the game. That's what it was.
Wise. All right, Arrow's going to get towards that back line as the Mantra does come through. So Radiant Virtue doing a lot of work here for BDD. Closer got into the back line. He landed a huge Emperor's Divide onto a Karma with 1 billion health. And he just didn't care.
He ram it for a second.
Well, Eamon cares a lot about that arrow, as you can see. Nar is going to do basically nothing. And yes, KT don't have a lot of damage, but they take infinite damage.
Wave clear too. Like they have wave clear also.
He could be right behind them. Kyle spots him out. They have that information. BDD just walked over. Didn't even need to use the teleporters. Emperor's Divide pushes Lehens right on in there, cuz Cyclone now on cooldown. Dredgeline goes wide. It's a bit of a disaster as the arrow connects onto Lehens, but he stays alive. Closer now golden and once again punished. Oh my goodness, Keen's going to find Willa and he's having a field day. This K'Sante is having the best time ever. As KT, they'll move back to the Elder and there is no Azir to help in these team fights.
This Elder is, recent.
Oh, don't do it again, KT.
I think they're going to try to, and this could come back. Now, Bernal is losing his Narbar. This is very difficult for Liiv SANDBOX to win.
All right, KT, please turn. Please turn, please.
They're going to turn.
All right, well, they're back on. Willa's not dead. Willa, he's still in that brush. As you can see, so much damage for this K'Sante, and I didn't know that I was going to say that. As Willa does show himself, they know that he's right over. Another arrow comes in. Chains of Corruption are going to connect as Lehen's getting taken down very, very low. Willa gets on in there, and they need to stay stolen again! Are you kidding me, KT? Why? Why?
How did this happen again? Repel! He does it out of Repel! You can just hold the damage! He can't do anything while he's in Repel! How did that happen? Triple!
I'm baffled. I'm completely baffled, Wolf, as Emperor's Divide. Aiming does have a stopwatch, but guys, he's dead.
How did KT win a game that they couldn't win and then lose it? How did they do that? How did it happen? Oh man, I mean, that should never have occurred. Willer out of Repel gets the steal, and it's a wipe, and I'm speechless.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, what do we say?
3-4 and 2 Elise is getting the POG vote. That's all I can say, Atlas. Yeah. This game is not a happy one for either side.
Well, Lehens is going to get some knockups. There you go. This was... Oh dear.
Nobody walks out of game one happy.
Nope.
Nobody walks out of game one happy, Atlas. Not a single player. Maybe Willer. Only Willer gets to walk out happy.
Yeah, he does. He has a bit of a grin on his face.